Hello, so in this quick video we're going to tell you about the London Community Response Fund and give you information on and guidance on applying for a grant. So London's funders are working together on a coordinated emergency response to the COVID-19 pandemic. There are grants available for charities and groups who are responding to community needs in London during the COVID-19 situation and beyond. The fund is coordinated by the London Funders Network and includes over 50 funders. There's a single point of application and reporting to multiple funders, just one application form, making it easy and efficient for groups to apply. There are two funding programs under this wave of the fund. Firstly, crisis response, which can be thought of as smaller grants, up to £10,000 to enable you to meet the immediate needs of your organisation and of your communities. So this can include food and essentials or other things that you're providing for your communities, to equipment and additional short-term staff costs or incurred volunteer costs for your organisation during this time. The second programme is Delivering Differently, and these can be thought of as the larger grants. They're up to £50,000, between £10,000 and £50,000, to change the way you deliver your work and ensure it continues to meet the needs of your communities at this time. So this might be using digital or online solutions or redeploying staff to boost capacity in certain frontline services. And you only have until the 19th of May, that's next Tuesday, the 19th of May, to apply for this programme, and then it will pause and be reworked in early June. So key facts of the fund: you can apply for a maximum of 3 months funding. You can only apply for one grant, either a crisis response grant or a Delivering Differently grant. And again, think of these as small grants or larger grants. They're very similar in what you can apply for, but the sizes are different. Delivering Differently is paused on 19th of May until early June, as I've said. And if you received a grant already in Wave 1 of this fund, which was for food and essentials, you are able to apply again as part of Wave 2. So who can apply? You're eligible for either grants programme if you're a registered charity, a CIO, a CIC limited by guarantee with at least 3 directors, a charitable company limited by guarantee. For the crisis response grants, in addition to those already listed, you can be a faith group where the activity you're seeking funding for is not promoting religion, a community amateur sports club, a community benefit society, a constituted but unincorporated club or association, a constituted tenants and residents association or a tenant management organisation, or a constituted community group. Now, if you're an unconstituted group, you can still apply via a host organisation who will hold the grant on your behalf, and Consortium can apply on behalf of multiple groups as a host organisation. In addition, the activities for which you're applying need to be legally charitable and benefit Londoners. They must take place in or benefit people living in London or in one or more of London's 33 local authority areas. So for the smaller grants, the crisis response grants, these are up to £10,000, enabling you to respond to the COVID-19 crisis, particularly for buying food or other essentials, cleaning products and so on, for people in need of support. Providing access to your services in new ways. Making immediate changes to existing services. Buying equipment to enable people, your staff or volunteers, to work remotely. Responding to new needs that are arising quickly. Meeting the increased costs of providing your services, and ensuring full accessibility of services. These are just some examples. The grants are actually quite flexible. For delivering differently grants between £10,000 and £50,000, you can apply for support for your organisation or group to redesign your services and deliver them differently in this period to continue to meet community needs in new ways. You have to show how you complement existing local provision. And these grants will cover one-off or setup costs you incur to change your systems and services so you can deliver in new ways, and any additional costs you will incur for delivering in new ways. Now again, these are quite flexible as long as you meet the budget headings and the eligibility criteria. So priority themes under this funding is under these specific themes. So specific guidance is available on each of these themes on the fund website, which gives you more information about what each theme includes. But they are advice, arts and culture, children and young people, domestic abuse and violence against women and girls, equity and inclusion, food, homelessness, infrastructure, people at risk, and refugees and migrants. Now, you may have a project or have a delivery service or area that meets one of these themes or one or more of these themes. Your organisation does not have to entirely work on these themes. So what you can apply for. So here are the budget headings that they suggest that you apply under. People, so this can be increased expenditure relating to your staff or volunteers. Support, for example, training, supervision and well-being for your team. Equipment costs, so for example, if you need laptops or if you to work remotely, or if you need protective equipment to deliver frontline services in person. Resources such as IT support or advice on remote working or advice on using IT remotely. So direct service costs such as food, essential items, extra telephone and postage costs that you might incur. Overheads, for example, giving your staff a payment for remote working for their broadband and telephone, for example, or storage for food if you need to rent a space to store extra food donations. Costs are incurred by partnership working. So if you're coming together with other organisations to deliver your service to meet immediate needs, you can apply for the cost of legal advice or other professional support to enable those partnerships to work well. And also governance costs. So this could include software so that trustees could access your systems remotely. So they will also consider retrospective costs. So if you've incurred additional costs dating back to 23rd of March 2020 because of the COVID-19 situation and trying to deliver your services at this time, and you have had no other funding to cover them, you can detail these in your application and they will consider them. So the assessors are looking for grassroots groups and organisations working on the ground, delivering services and supporting people and communities at this time, an immediate response to the COVID-19 crisis. You need to ensure that your group or organisation meets the eligibility criteria, because applications will be screened for these criteria and for eligibility before they go forward to the panel. Once your application is through to the panel, it will have a good chance of being funded. So ensure that you're ticking all the boxes on the form first to meet the eligibility criteria, and that you're representing your group accurately and not leaving anything out. So this is not for new projects. They're looking for organisations who are already doing the work, meeting immediate needs of communities or adapting their services to respond to the changing COVID-19 situation. So this isn't a time to kind of sneak in a new project in there and hope it gets funded. What you can apply for is flexible under their headings, so they're willing to look at any reasonable costs for delivering your services at this time and or adapting your work to meet your needs of your community. They want you to include an itemised budget using their headings and not just putting a single cost in your application. And they'll also be looking at your safeguarding procedures and will want a safeguarding policy. So we had a call with the funders to see what they're looking for, get some more information, and this is what they told us. So they want applicants to tell us how you're being impacted as an organisation now and for the next 3 months, what you're doing to meet these needs and how much it costs. And they also said, think about how you can make your group or organisation sustainable. So it's not just about immediate needs and it's not just about your service users, but also the well-being of your staff and the ways they are working. Think about how this COVID-19 situation is impacting your organisation and what adjustments you need for sustainability and well-being and the long-term health of your group or organisation. So how do you apply? You have to fill in and submit an application form online at londоncommunityResponseFund.org.uk, and there is a Word version you can download there for preparing your answers. There's no deadline, but they advise that you apply as soon as possible because they're expecting a high number of applications to come in. And remember that if you want to apply for the larger grants under Delivering Differently, this pauses from 5 p.m. on the 19th of May and won't open again until early June. Consortium can help you with your application. So if you need to discuss whether you're eligible or not, if you want help thinking through what you might apply for, or if you'd like us to read a draft of your application, you can phone us on 020 70 64 6500 or email admin@consortium.lgbt. We look forward to hearing from you and for supporting you to apply for this fund.